Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Chelsea keep on making waves in the transfer window. They have gone ahead and agreed terms with Brighton and Hove Albion for Joâo Pedro. It looks like he is on the verge of coming to Chelsea. His medical is already agreed. The fees, is in the region of between 55 to 60 million pounds. It's a big deal. He is going to fly to the United States for the medical, and he is going to be a new Chelsea player. I mean, it's a massive deal. I talked about him yesterday as well. I really like Joâo Pedro. I think he's a really good player, and he's going to fit in in that Chelsea structure quite well. There were other clubs as well, and Newcastle so it felt like they were the front runners for this deal. But Chelsea have thwarted them. Newcastle bid twice, and both times their bids got rejected by Brighton, and it felt like from the player side as well, he really wanted to go to Chelsea rather than going to Newcastle, and that has really helped Chelsea's chances after yesterday agreeing terms for Gittins. They really moved in fast, and they really of course, when Chelsea really want to get somebody, they go ahead and they start they give it the money and they pay the cash and they get their guy, and that's what has happened within 24 hours. They have really gone ahead and done the job, and they have gotten their man. As I said, he's going to fly in for the medical to United States in a couple of days, and they're going to do the medical there, and by the end of a Club World Cup they are going to announce Joâo Pedro as a new Chelsea player. I mean, it is a really good deal. It's a really smart deal. I talked about him yesterday. I think he's a really he's a sensational player. He's a young player. He's an energetic player. He's a pacey player. He's one of those players that can change the game in an instant. You are going to be watching a game for 89 minutes and it's 0-0, and then Joâo Pedro is going to come in and then he can create magic out of nothing. He's one of those very special kind of player, and I think he's going to do wonders at Chelsea. He scored about 10 goals last season, produced 8 assists. So having 18 goals contribution in the Premier League, that's a big thing for a player to have. And then of course he's joining a team that is learning. He's a young lad himself, so that's going to really help. He's coming into this America project, which is getting better and better. Last year they qualified for the Champions League. That was basically the first hurdle. That was the first target to get into the Champions League, and this year it is going to be to go deep into the Champions League and try to a challenge for the title. And I think he's going to be really influential in that. They have already brought in Liam Delap. They have brought in Jamie Gittins. There are players who are going to leave the club, but I think the replacement that Chelsea have bring in with Delap coming in, Gittins coming in, and now they have bringing in Joâo Pedro as well. So it is like already they are taking they have elevated their score to the next level. In my opinion, I think all these signings are really good. He can play as that the false nine. He can play as that second striker. He can play on that left hand side. He can play on that right hand side. So he's a versatile player who can really come in and who can really chip in. He can, as I said, he's really fast as well. He can dribble past defenders quite easily one-on-one. He's going to be a menace for for a lot of defenders. He was a menace last year as well, so it's going to be the same this year as well. At Chelsea, they have paid they are paying like 55 to 60 million pounds. So, and for a player like Joâo Pedro, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I think it's a 6-year contract if I'm not. And again, Chelsea continuing that trend of giving long contracts to players to minimize that financial constraint, and trying to keep them at the club as long as possible to so that they can gel and they can start producing the results that they want. That the longer these players stay together, the more chance of them succeeding together. And I think that's an interesting philosophy that Chelsea are trying to bring into the Premier League. Till now nobody has really followed them, but Chelsea keep on doing that. They started last year with big contracts to Mudryk and all of them, and this year again they gave Gittins 7 years, and I think if I'm not wrong, I think it is 6 years contract for Joâo Pedro as well. So again, another massive contract that they are giving Joâo Pedro. And then, as I said, Chelsea themselves, they are it's not just like this year they are not just splashing the cash and bringing players in. This year, after 2-3 years, it finally feels like they really have a plan, and the manager is it feels like the manager is the one calling the shots. He is identified 2-3 players, and he has told them that I want them. That's the only players that I want. I don't want any stupid spending. Just bring me these players and I can help you with that. And I think because he was able to qualify for Champions League last season, Maresca has that that sort of trust and that sort of power that Tedworth is starting to listen to him, and I think that is really helpful for Chelsea if they really want to sustain. Brighton, on the other hand, of course, they are going to be really, in a way, pissed off. They are going to be really angry. They are going to be disappointed that Pedro has decided to leave them. But I sort of it is a big deal for Pedro. I mean, he's going to play in the Champions League. He's supposedly going to fight for the title with Chelsea. Is going to a bigger club than Brighton. No disrespect to Brighton, but of course Chelsea is a bigger club. As he said, he rejected Newcastle as well. So it shows that his ambition was, his intention was clear to go to Chelsea, and it's a good thing for Chelsea. And he would hope that he can come in Chelsea and he can show the manager, and he can repay the faith that the manager has shown by spending a good amount of money on him. Brighton, they would be in a way disappointed to see João Pedro leave. But again, Brighton are one of those clubs. They are going to take that money and they're going to reinvest in the squad. And then next year we're going to be talking about some new player that Brighton have signed, who is a world-class player. And again, next season it keeps on happening. Every year you think Brighton are going to suffer because their players leave, but it doesn't happen. And Brighton keep on playing, whether it is the managers, whether it is the players. I mean, their scouting network, in my opinion, is like it is one of the best in the country, one of the best in Europe, if I'm being very honest with you. I mean, whether it is the managers, whether it is the players, whoever comes in, they just they are simply sensational. And I think again they are going to get about 60 million pounds for Pedro, and I think they are going to go out and they're going to spend on good players. And I think they are going to be not in a bad position. They are going to have a good season. It is not going to be the end of the world for Brighton, and that is why they have been able to stay successful for a number of years, because they keep on losing the players, but they go out and they bring in new players who are almost like sometimes it feels like they were better than the players that left them. So I think it is going to continue with them. But all in all, if I'm looking right now at that Chelsea squad, and it's starting to look like really, really good. I keep on saying this season is going to be another tough one for everybody involved. Last year they went ahead of schedule around December, January. That time there were talks of Chelsea mounting a title challenge, but it fell short because their squad was not good enough, and they really did not have enough talent in that squad. But now with adding these three players, I think it is as I said, Maresca has already elevated the squad, and I think this year they are seriously going to push the teams for that title. They might not win it. I don't think they are going to win. I still think they are a year behind, in my opinion. They still need time to play together to fully understand what Maresca are trying to do. And I think after that they are, in my opinion, this year is going to be another 1 year where they're going to concentrate in the cups and they're going to concentrate in the Champions League. But I don't think they are going to win it. I think the next year might be the one where they really go all out on winning the Premier League. But I still think this is going to be a good year for Chelsea, and with the players coming in and Pedro again coming in, I think it's a big I think for Chelsea, and a massive signing. Again, I said yesterday and I am saying it again. It's going to be a special signing for Chelsea. That is for me. Let me know what you guys think of the signing, João Pedro coming to Chelsea from Brighton for about 60 million pounds. What do you think of this signing? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of July, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.